To bore you with the minutia of recording setups, there was a update to NVIDIA's game driver on approximately June 4th of 2021, and that messed up NVIDIA Broadcast's ability to find my speaker path. Now, I don't care about speakers, I just use it to real-time filter the microphone input. But it makes it so that it doesn't work for that either. So, I don't know, we get all that self-noise of my microphone punching through, or my refrigerator, or something like that. Yes, I record right next to my refrigerator, because I am unprofessional that way. Anyway, this is less fun nowadays and more work. Or kind of fun, but still work. Especially since I've hit a part of the game here that's really bad, essentially. It's really cringe. And when I struck it yesterday, it caused my Let's Play to basically just fall apart. I was just like, I'm done with this. And let's plunge right back into this horribleness. So I'm pretty sure, because of the way they word things, when you go to through the second pass on the Yuka ending, it'll say, we already know that Kurumi's faking her illness, so let's go to the pool. But then when you get to the pool, you act like you remember Yuka letting you drop back into the pool. So you remember Yuka's prank. So when Yuka reaches her hand out, you grab her hand and you yank her into the pool. Basically to get back at her for it. Which indicates that you have seen the pool scene before. But when I got the Yuka ending and hadn't seen the pool scene before, I went to go check on Kurumi and chased after her to Viewpoint Park. So that indicates that they tried, Uchikoshi tried to do his right, it's just that that choice didn't matter. So if you went to the Yuka ending, it didn't matter if you went to the pool or went to check on Kurumi. But he failed to make it consistent and make it make sense. So we got this kind of plot basically whole there. But at least for that ending, what happens at the pool doesn't matter. So it makes me think that for most the endings, there's just, in general, it doesn't really matter that much what you do at the pool. It's just this, like, sandbox, essentially. This sandbox of cringe. But I'll look at these just in case. Okay. Okay, this is good. I'll just ignore Haruka for now. It's extremely unlikely that I can hold up a conversation with her anyway. Haruka, I'm going to the slide now. With those final words, I run up the stairs to the slide. Whoosh. I went on the slide, but for some reason it wasn't as fun as I thought it'd be. Even though it was much more fun when I was a kid. That's enough, I'll go now. Especially like when there's joints in the slide where they connect the two plastic flumes together and your shoulder blades hit the joints. It's like ow, 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 ow. I head over to the drink stand to quench my thirst. Okay, so this goes to here. We've been there. So now let's go to the big menu of questions. What's the scene name? Oh, I like slides. Okay. Okay, so now it's there. Okay, so let's try each of these four. Comment on how she skipped a grade. Haruka, you're 1 year younger than us, right? She doesn't respond, but I continue to talk anyway. But the sprite changed. So you're in the same grade we are. So that means you skipped a grade, right? Skipping a grade. That's amazing. No, it isn't. Only top-notch students can accomplish that. Seriously, that's amazing. You're a year younger than us, yet you're just as smart as we are. No, you might even be smarter than us. Yeah, typically, if you have younger students in your same cohort, those younger students will do better than you, right? For example, in high school, if you have freshmen taking Algebra 2, you'll find that the freshmen always do better because they had to in order to get there in the first place. At least in the United States. I don't know how they distribute that silly high school algebra teaching math out of order nonsense in Japan, but I keep saying amazing. Being praised makes everyone feel good. No, it doesn't. It makes you feel awkward. Gives you imposter syndrome. With this, I feel that the mood has now lightened enough for us to talk normally. Is that rare? No. Huh? Is that rare? Is that not normal? Her unexpected reply has left me at a loss for words. Well, I couldn't call it normal. I see. It should be normal because there was definitely too many grades. That's for sure. But isn't that something to be proud of? Because it's not normal. It means you're not an ordinary human. Oh, now you've stepped in it. Decide not to follow up on that. It doesn't matter to me. Oh, I see. I kind of feel like I've suffered a magnificent, honorable defeat. Grammar error. M is a consonant. That should be an A, not an N. I'll change the topic. So, okay, so it just kind of goes through that one. Cool. What do you do on your days off? The image I have of you is somewhat of an honor student, but not one who's glued to her desk 24/7. Don't ask people this, because they're probably playing these anime visual novels on their days off. And they are too embarrassed to tell you this. No. On the other hand, I can't see you doing sports. And you don't really strike me as someone with a part-time job either. So what is it that you really do? You don't want to answer that, that's fine. There goes another failed attempt. As I'm about to change the subject, Haruka speaks. I go home. Home? To the lab? Right, home, because I live at my dorm most of the time. Ah, I see. When I go home, I help my mother out. I see. You're great, Haruka. Which is also Izumi's mother? It feels like I'm praising a child. Makoto? Makoto, do you like your father and mother? I'm bewildered by your sudden question. How should I answer that? I should answer that by saving the game. And say I don't really like them. Because metal. I don't really feel this way, I'm just embarrassed to admit it. Well, maybe in 2000 this was cool. They sometimes drive me insane. But they're my parents, and to me are people who should be loved. Well, I'm grateful to them for a lot of things, but sometimes I feel they can be so irritating. For example, I'm already 20 years old, but they still treat me like I'm a kid. I wish they'd just cut it out. I see. Haruka, do you feel that way too? I like them. Haruka looks at me as she speaks. I see. Because they are my only bond. Huh? I begin to feel extremely awkward. Why? Huh? Why are you so curious about me? Okay. So this is probably where it converges. Let's try the other option. Okay, let's go with this one then. Okay, so that one I think really doesn't matter. So I'm just gonna, this is the pool conglomerate. Too lazy to write down all the pool stuff. That's because I can't answer. The truth is, even I don't understand it very well myself. Because the game is designed specifically to try to make you curious about her. Okay. Try this one first, because I'm interested in you. You're interested in me? I want to know more about you, Haruka. Well, she asked you why, though. I look at Haruka. I stare for okay. Although she's trying to hide it, Haruka is blushing. We fall silent again. Once again, the atmosphere is awkward. Hey, do you want to go to the slide? For the time being, in order to break this deadlock between us, I got to act. The slide. Okay, I'm going to do a load of, let's see here, this one, and see. See what these do. I'm not really picky, I'll eat just about anything. Still, I have some favorites. What I'm trying to ask is, well, do you have any favorite foods? Haruka silently lowers her head. Oh, what am I saying? I don't want to answer it. If you don't want to answer, that's fine. Cabbage cores. Cabbage cores are delicious. Okay, that's interesting. The day before yesterday, the day we arrived at the lodge, Yuba made yakisoba. It was quite salty. So you're saying that there were cabbage cores in the yakisoba? Haruka nods. I see. I'm a little shocked and curious that Haruka likes cabbage cores, but I'm even more surprised that Yuka actually cooked something edible. If I had arrived at the lodge earlier that day, I might have seen it too. I'm a bit disappointed. Then what do you dislike? Pretending to be calm, I ask her another question. Eggs and milk. So you don't like the bloat, okay? Why is that? Because they're gooey. They make me feel sick. I would say lactose intolerant, but I don't know if that explains the eggs. I find it strange how someone who can't drink their milk and eat eggs can happily look at creatures like sea roaches. Well, I guess those simply might be a part of her likes and dislikes, but still. You don't eat them at all? No. You can't be picky. If you don't have eggs or milk, your body can't grow up big and... Incorrect. You don't have to eat eggs or milk. It is a little bit more difficult. Because there's easier way, like when you... I think most protein powders on the market are what they call whey isolates, which is basically milk. So if you avoid all products derived from milk, it's a little bit less convenient. But it's not... Whatever. I mean, the kid's argument is that it's like you need calcium, but there's calcium in other foods, so. I abruptly stopped talking. What am I saying? Haruka's a college student. I was threatening her like a kid just now, wasn't I? I become kind of embarrassed to look away from Haruka. Yes. I'll try to have them more often. What? I'm a little surprised by your declaration, but also pleased you took my advice. I'll change the topic. Okay, so... What's your type? Haruka, what kind of guy is your type? Wait, isn't this question a little bit too personal? Of course she doesn't want to answer, that's only natural. Never mind, sorry. What about you? Huh? What's your type? I actually don't know what my type is. I've never had my blood drawn. Haruka is waiting for my answer with a serious expression. I need to answer properly or this could be bad. A quiet girl like you, I guess? No, that's not the right answer. The answer is whoever the main girl is in the game. Like me? Haruka repeats my words. She silently lowers her head. Her expression is hard to read. Two of us are dead silent. Well, I guess it's time to move to another topic. Why, huh? Why are you so curious about me? Oh, so this is another way to... So, it's... What do you do in your days off, and what's your type both lead here. Okay. But what do you do in your days off seem to give more information. So I'm going to do that one. I like them. I'll also give you another choice to go through. Oh, okay. Maybe you just go through a certain number of these. And then it will switch. Yeah, it triggers why are you curious about me on like the second choice you make. Okay. See, because I like you. Okay. Because I don't know the meaning of the word like. Huh? Because if someone told me they liked me, I wouldn't know how to react. Because if someone told me they liked me, I wouldn't know what to think. Okay. Well, I don't know which one, but it probably doesn't matter, so... If you can't think of something, ow, 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 ow. Okay. Okay. So hopefully that will get me through that mess and keep going. So pool conglomerate. I'll just call it all number 17. Which These numbers mean nothing to whoever's viewing this. They're just what I'm writing down personally. Okay. Okay. Keep clicking through this. Checking the background music titles, okay. Still no choices yet. Okay. Okay. So try this. Yes, I don't really understand it myself, but it's probably what you're thinking. In other words, hey Shihara, don't tell me you're going to start spewing about how it was a premonition again. Okuhiko beats me to the punch, instinctively leaving me at a loss for words. Just by looking at this car's state, it's natural to think that there's no way this thing will move. In fact, Ishihara and I were thinking the same thing. No offense, Izumi-san, but this car doesn't look like it's been maintained in a long time. It's had maintenance in a long time. Okuhiko's words are like an intimidating air that leaves me with no room to object. Just like yesterday, I think it's safer if I stay silent. Okay. Dodge the question. I don't think it's that like that at all. I'm dodging the question. Otherwise, it'd just be like yesterday, no one will believe me if I say I had a premonition. I don't want to experience the unpleasant feeling of being like a falsely accused suspect ever again. Okay. Okay. Keep flipping back and forth here. See how Izumi responds. Okay, so I would think that the seemingly the better option, and maybe surprising, is dodge the question, because that makes Izumi more curious. Right. Okay, so Zumi's like, what's going on? Okay, drop another save. Okay. Go with Yuka, go with Kurumi and Saki, go with Haruka and Okuhiko. Okay, so I think go with Yuka will bomb out. Right, okay. Try the one that's different than the one I did last time. Go with Kurumi and Saki. I run over to Kurumi and Saki, who are walking together and happily chatting. Kurumi's completely happy. Naturally, since I came in the middle of the conversation, I have no clue what Kurumi's talking about. I wouldn't normally butt into a conversation, or at least would be reluctant to, but I'd rather get everything else off my mind right now. So I tried bluntly asking Kurumi, happy about what? Just then, about us, Saki answers. I asked her, aren't we imposing too much on you and your sister? That's why Kurumi said she was completely happy. Wow, you're even good with that drunkard. I briefly glance at Yuka, who's walking in front of us. Yeah, for some reason Kurumi gets along really well with Yuka-san. Well, it certainly did look that way. And you know what, Kurumi has been here the whole time since spring break began. So Kurumi was getting a little tired of just being alone with Oni-chan. Can Kurumi be honest with you? Until you guys came yesterday, Kurumi just wanted to go home. Well, if that's the case, then you should have called out to me. I see, now that she mentioned it, Saki came here because of her February exam break. Then again, we only did just meet yesterday, so I suppose that couldn't be helped. Saki smiles. Nevertheless, being here since February is a long time. Just what was Saki doing for 2 months all alone? I continue to think of the matter absent-mindedly. Okay, let's try loading it. Okay, this is just, the game doesn't account for the bookkeeping. Because it treats this one and the one you get when you click go with Yuka as separate decisions, but I'm pretty sure that this will be exactly the same dialogue if I click it on the lower level. Yeah, it's exactly the same. Run over to Haruka and Okuhiko, who are walking together a bit ahead of me. Hiko glances at me with clear disdain. No, I was just wondering what you two were talking about. Okay. I already read this earlier, but huh. Okay, I'll go through with this because this has more information in it. Okay. Okay. So Kurumi says she's not imposing. Haruka brings up the heartbeat thing early. This is 19. And then 18, we had that choice with the car won't start is of little consequence. What you pick? Okay. Unless What's her face? Izumi responds differently a few lines later, depending on what you pick. Yeah, we're gonna have to try it. Sorry, I have to like do a confirmation of this. Again, this is work. So, say it was a premonition again. Okuhiko steps in and tries to pick on you. Izumi's sprite changes in the background. Okay, so it really does reset. Okay. Okay, already gone through this. Yeah, and last time I tried to have that talk with Izumi and failed. Like, it never gave me the opportunity, it seemed. Okay, and then Yuka says she has a bad feeling about this. But there's nothing you can do about it. What's this background music called? Okay. The sunny spot. So this happens no matter, like the previous choices that appear, no matter what you do, it appears this always happens. On top of the pier, we see Saki in the middle of shaking Haruka off. However, Haruka refuses to budge and tries to block her path. We can't hear what they're saying. However, I've never seen Haruka so angry before. Saki shakes her head in what appears to be astonishment as Haruka forces her to move back. Saki then runs up to the tip of the pier. Okuhiko begins to run towards Haruka, who is still as a statue. I wonder what's wrong. Yeah, let's go see. Then, just as we're about to run towards them, Saki screams at the same time as the booming roar of the wave breaks out, and as a monstrous... Okay, and Saki gets washed into the ocean, which apparently is a big deal. What's this do? Okay, so that makes it go really quick. Whoops, forgot to save. Oh, classic me. Okay. Spam. What's this background music called? Okay, uneasiness. Yeah, dive in. Okay, so I'm going to say here on this one, first of all, I have to remember to actually save it, because I never remember to do that. Or I have so far, but... dive in is more verbose. More verbose and greater resembles the behavior of that boy, right? Okay, so dive in, and of course we already went through this the first time through. Now I noticed last time in the CG's repo that I was missing one of these art assets in this chain. Which I wonder how that one gets triggered. I might have to choose to go shopping with Saki earlier or something like that. Okay, so then there's the Saki part. It seems humans can't die that easily after all. This is probably some clone segue. I'm gonna save here. What's that? What's up with that? It sounds like you wanted to die. That's not what I meant at all. If that's the case, then you should be really happy about this. But the fact that I'm alive is also due to chance. You know, you shouldn't talk about these things that way. It's fine, isn't it? Anyway, it's not that important. Well, maybe that's true, but that's right. It's not like you were swallowed by a wave. Hey, you little... Kodo, please stop it. Ishihara, do you have no common sense? Where do you think we are now? Hey, I don't think I'm the only... Come on, that's enough. More importantly, what are we going to do now? It doesn't seem like we can stay here with Saki-chan the whole time. We don't need to. When I say that, Saki hauntedly turns her head away. Geez, just what you'd expect from a spoiled rich girl. Okay, let's see here. Okay, it seems like those are the same generally. So think or say. Did Saki want to die? Seems to mean little. It changes whether or not the characters get mad at Yuka or the main character, for which you think getting mad at the main character would be a greater loss because, you know, Yuka is just kind of more of a transient. Okay. I'm probably gonna go with the saying though, just for the sake of this one. Okay, we just kind of drop Kurumi there. Go back to Luna Beach. Get Izumi's story. Kurumi walks in on. Where we learn about the Shiki no Mori shrine. Thanks to Okuhiko.
We trap Izumi into explaining it to Kurumi, but that probably reduces how much he's going to explain, which is inconvenient. Okay, some people travel either backwards or forwards in time, so they got in time loop or they got jumped forward. Okay, we're gonna save here. So, Go gets Saki mad at you. Don't go does nothing. But Go might lead into the conversation you might have with Haruka later. So, I'd probably go with Go. But I'm gonna choose this first just to see what happens. This has nothing to do with me. If you're going, then go alone. You're such a cold Edward. Besides, aren't you the one Saki has a thing for? I smirk as I tease Okuhiko, jabbing his shoulder mockingly with my finger. I'm not good at these kinds of things. I see. Sucks to be you, then. I walk away and leave Okuhiko behind with those sarcastic words. Then I return to the lodge to take a bath, and once I'm out, decide to try inviting Haruka to my room so I can directly ask her what happened between her and Saki. Okay. So, whoops. Go. Sure, why not? Because Saki will get mad at you. Okay, so Go just gives an extra scene, which I'm pretty sure won't block you out of anything. Okay, so I've already done this scene. Okay, she's not in the mood to answer. Oh, I can't do a backlog here. Well, okay. Keep pressing her. It sure didn't look like it was nothing. After all, you practically pushed Haruka off of you. I never did something like that. You did. I didn't. I didn't do something like that. What were you talking about then? Nothing. We weren't talking about anything at all. You're lying. What's with you? Why are you talking like that? Do you have a grudge against me or something? It's nothing like that at all. Then what do you want? I want to know the truth. Isahara back off, quick interrogating her. Leave right now, you're terrible. Okay.
Okay. Okay. Keep pressing seems slightly better, but only slightly. Okay. Okay. Oh, I made a Yuka timestamp. Okay, whatever. I'll teach you. Really? I give her a nod. Now that I think about it, up until now, I never really tried to learn about Haruka. You say what now? If she wants to learn how to fish, then I'll give her all the help she needs. I want to get to know her better and start to understand her feelings. Okay. Now, that seems like less verbose. Then you have no heart. None. She doesn't have a heart, just what does she mean? Okay. So you have no heart is slightly longer. Okay. Okay, now we go fishing with Haruka. They'll get mad at me. Okay, save here. Dot dot dot. I remain silent. Haruka's looking at me. I avert my eyes. With me, even though those words should easily come out of my mouth, they don't. My own words, and you trust me too, are piercing my heart. Can't be with Oni-chan? He realizes that Haruka's looking at me. I resolve myself. Yeah. It's with me. Okay. Okay. I underestimated how long this would be. Okay. So, dot 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 is slightly longer. But not as good. Well, I tend to go for the longer as opposed to the good. Okay. So obviously it shows yeah you did. We'll try well yeah, see what happens. Well yeah. Huh? Was that strange? Did I do something strange? That's not it, but what? Nothing. Anyway, yeah, you kept your promise. Okay. Yeah, you did. Okay, so yeah, you did is better. Forgot to read the context. I have no response. It's because I thought she was right on mark. Haruka places the fishing rod down and glances far off into the distance. She's starting to return to her cold, expressionless state. Okay. So this is where Makoto starts spouting nonsense. Okay, so they're basically the same. I have no... So, okay. So I have no response. And that's wrong. Are the same. This is, I presume Haruka is saying that people kill each other because they love each other. Okay, so you ask her, but what were they talking about? And Haruka's just like, have you kissed someone? Never mind that. Have you kissed someone before? Okay. So have I kissed someone? They can say I have, I haven't, and Let's try first. Well, you see, I'm a guy, so, some reason that matters. Since I'm with Haruka, I'm trying to be blunt. Have you ever? You shouldn't ask someone something like that. Is that right? Yeah. Then why do people kiss? It's probably to demonstrate their love and confirm their feelings for each other. Okay, this thing. Okay. Whoops. I have... Okay. I wonder if it changes depending on, like, I don't know how far I have to go into these to figure out when they cause a change. I'll just try I haven't and go through it. It's a complicated tree. So they basically, all three kissing responses are similar. Okay, let's try no, it's not like that and see what happens. No, it's not like that. Okay, so all right, I understand. Well, then close your eyes. Okay. Okay, same thing. A lot of combinations to go through here. Okay, so these seem to all be okay. The second kiss question also seems to not make a difference. Okay, I'm still writing. So I'm just gonna go, I haven't. Okay. And of course, that's supposed to set up eventually him kissing her on the lips at some point. Okay. I'm running out of places to save things. Because you told me to. What am I saying? I can't understand why I'm saying this. Okay. Okay, so that's probably better. Okay, so you don't get the sorrow. So don't get sorrow if you just hit because. Okay. More saves. That didn't work. Okay. Try hold her down. You seriously full Nelson the girl. Okay. Okay, so words instead of actions begets more words. More words. This is Saki. Okay. So. Words. Okay. Okay, so it appears like I want to actually do what, how could you? So how could you is more verbose. But little difference ultimately. So that's important. So, I recall memories of Haruka from 2 days ago. The Haruka who watched the water dripping from the faucet. So you see this no matter what, right? Because you have to go through that choice where you're going to say good morning a third time or try to say something else. Haruka who drenched her feet in the breaking waves on the beach. You don't see that unless you do not play tennis with Yuka. Instead, you go explore the beach with Haruka. Haruka's sweating face as she pedaled the bike. You only get that if you go shopping with Haruka. So those decide to pile up right there on that dialogue. Huh. And then lastly, the enthusiastic Haruka forgot herself as much as she could when she went fishing with me. So it looks like it like remembers at this point all the things you've done with Haruka. And throws them back at you. So I haven't actually been paying attention to this. And I'm not allowed, according to my rules, to rewatch old footage, whether or not some of these middle lines, like Haruka watched the water drip, not that one. Haruka who drenched her feet in the breaking waves on the beach. Haruka's sweating face as she pedaled the bike. Those two weren't there. Because I didn't make those two choices, they're required to make them for Makoto to see that. An exposition. Did we get this before? I have no heart because I am someone's replacement. I don't remember reading that dialogue. Because I'm nothing more than a copy. Maybe I did. Oh yeah, I did see this before. Okay. I just didn't remember it. I was hoping there was new dialogue, but there wasn't. Okay. Let's try don't worry about it. Don't worry about it whether you're a clone or a copy. Haruka is Haruka even if you don't have a heart. Okay. Okay. Little difference on clones. Basically none. Okay. Saki Summer House, Okuhiko comes out. Oh, Yuka does. Okay. You talk about clones. Exposition about clones. Azumi's father is Dr. Shigeso Marino. Okay. Okay. You see this. So this still happened, okay. So nothing seemed to really diverge in any way. Okay, another save. Try curry. Wait, it literally changes the... That's funny. Unfortunately, there's no precedent to pick anything in particular because Haruka likes, what's it, cabbage centers. Huh. That's funny, Uchikoshi, that you do it like this. You choose. Potatoes, carrots, onions, beef, and then milk. It's like, it's always potatoes, carrots. Well, whatever. Well, whatever then. Which food you guess literally makes no difference. It literally just changes the food. That's the correct answer. Okay. This might set a precedent there, though, for later in the game. You choose something different, and it literally chooses the story, like changes the story entirely. Like, forget about plot holes and plot consistency. We don't care about that in this genre. Does she put onions in the curry too, though? Okay, I don't know what the onions have to do with anything. Okay, we're doing the test of courage. This is the Kurumi background? Yeah, okay. So Yuka says she'll use rock. So much to go through. Okay. So I'm going to draw another line. He's 35. I'm going to call linchpin number 4. And that is rock, paper, scissors. Now, I'm sort of generally targeting Haruka in this, so I'm going to try to hit Haruka. I know, of course, rock is Yuka. Let's try scissors. I was going to try scissors. Go. Everyone releases their hands simultaneously. True to her word, Yuka releases a tight fist rock. When I release scissors, Yuka mouths silent. I immediately avoid her cold stare while checking the other's hands. Zomi-san has rock. Okuhiko also has rock. And like me, Haruka also has scissors. Okay, so rock is Yuka. I don't know if you need that to get the Yuka ending. Scissors is Haruka. Now I'm going to reload this and hit paper. Wait. Yeah, so this is another one right after that, where if you change what you choose, the game changes the story to compensate. And so if you don't go with Yuka, you end up with Haruka. That's goofy. Okay, well, Haruka, and then paper is also Haruka. So it's only a two-way choice. Okay. Now, as far as, there didn't seem to be anything. Do you have to choose Yuka to get the Yuka route? I don't know. Interesting question. Well, then this time around, Yuka-san, Okan, and Odi-chan can only use rock or paper, okay? Oh, it does change it because it changes the composition of the other groups. Okay, I'll go through this and see how it changes that. Why is that? Can't we just form a group of 3? Bzz, bzz, wrongamundo. According to Japanese Text of Courage Awareness Club rulebook, this year's edition, during a test of courage, there may only be groups of 1 or 2. That's how it is. So you gotta be kidding me. Alrighty, set, rock, paper, scissors. Go. Okay, Kurumi will now explain the rest of the rules. So Okuhiko gets left alone. Okay. If we select scissors, so Okuhiko ends up alone again. Okay. So that always happens. Okay. Whatever, paper. Okay. Put your name on the well. Haruka, who's walking alongside me with her usual stony face, is completely unfazed by this atmosphere. Doesn't she have an imagination? Okay, Kurumi sure knows this place well. Now that I think about it, she did say earlier that everyone buried here is a Myunbotok. The silence is killing me. Sheesh. We shouldn't have done this test of courage. Myunbotok? You don't know, when someone dies and they have no family or relatives to bury them, they become Myunbotok. See, you write the word with the characters nothing, relationship, and deceased. A dead person with no relationships. No relationships? It sounds very lonely dying without having a person who cares about you. When I die, it's likely that no one will care either. Haruka, what do you say? It's because I'm just someone's replacement. Because I'm nothing more than a copy. Haruka, I won't forgive her for talking about you that way. I mean, Saki, what gives her the idea that she has the right to look down on you like that? That's not right. Do you really think that? Yeah. I think it makes me angry when I think about the incident at the ocean yesterday, as well as what happened today. But how did she know that you're a clone? Okay. Now, what I don't know here... Oops. How did she know that you're a clone in the first place? Is whether or not you get how much more you get to learn about Haruka here if you choose Haruka's past earlier. I don't know how complicated the code behind this is. Did something happen between you and Saki? Was the day before yesterday not the first time you had met? Haruka begins to step away from me. She moves to a stone paving by a large, conspicuous tombstone. Haruka's face says, I don't want to talk about Saki. Ignoring this, I step towards her. I'm partly surprised that I can read emotions off of Haruka's face. It wasn't, was it? A sudden gust of wind passes by, making the trees sound like they're in an uproar. Crash! I slip on the stone paving. I catch my breath and look at Haruka. Haruka's eyes are shining with curiosity. She squats down and begins to crawl. Stop acting so creepy. Come on, get up. Haruka pays no heed to my words, and I hear the sound of scraping against the stone pavement. It's completely dark. I can't see a thing. This is what they call true darkness. I immediately spring to my feet. I could try to run away, but Haruka grabs one of my ankles before I can do so. She stole from me. Stole? Haruka still clings to my leg as she says this. It wasn't just that day. She stole from me again. What did she steal from you? Then, at that time, the game decided to keep you in suspense. Haruka and I turn around from hearing this blood-curdling scream from behind us. As the crying gets louder, we see a black shadow running towards us with great speed. It's Yuka. What's wrong, Yuka? Calm down. I firmly grab Yuka's shoulders and calm her down. Head. This seems to suggest that it doesn't matter who you choose to go with here when it comes to Yuka's ending, but we'll continue. That was a dog. It was just a puppy sticking its head out of the bushes. A puppy? To think there'd be a puppy in this graveyard. Wait a minute, that's what scared Yuka? Okay. So I went Haruka there. And you learn a little bit extra in that Haruka has met Saki before, which was suggested, right? And that Saki stole from her, whatever that means. Knowing this writer, it's going to be something not straightforward. Okay. Okay, so they decide to go to the hot spring. Okay. So we do not have the opportunity to stay behind with Kurumi. Okay. You gotta write that down. I'm also going to take a couple minute recording break, which won't affect the video at all. So, I got locked out from going with Kurumi to the Shikinomori Shrine. And if this game makes some sort of narrative sense, that is because I didn't go with Kurumi to Viewpoint Park, and instead I went to the pool. Now, you would think that you would have to go with Kurumi to the Shikinomori Shrine in order for Kurumi to return to the Shikinomori Shrine on the next day. And then you go with Yuka to try to find Kurumi, go in there and see the talisman. And then according to Yuka, the talisman is what triggers you to retain your memories when you go back in time. Right? So it seems like by not going with Kurumi to Viewpoint Park, I locked myself out of being able to retain my memories when I went back in time. And also, at the pool, nothing really good happened. So, it also appears there isn't really any reason to ever go to the pool. Besides, there's just a bunch of art assets. That's about it. So I'll keep that in mind. Given there's 19 endings, so maybe there is some of those endings that depend on you going to the pool. It'd be funny if none of them did. Let me check my save files here. So the rock, paper, scissors one I have at 06, 05, 17, 06, but I probably wrecked this playthrough anyway because I didn't go to, I went to the pool. However, again, there's 19 endings, so I'll hit one of them. I'll hit one of them I haven't hit before. I'll hit something. And then hit the backlog. So you get this triple ellipses here where you would have, where Kurumi would have, well, actually, you would have decided to go back and check on Kurumi. So I better watch out for 3 ellipses in the future, because 3 ellipses seems to be an indicator that there's something here that you're missing because of some past choice. So that's it's something to note down. 3 ellipses might mean something. Might mean missing scene or missing choice. Okay. So after changing our clothes, we all meet at the front door. Well, then we're off. Kurumi-chan. Kurumi watches us leave as we start walking towards the hot springs. At first, Izumi-san wasn't that enthused, but she gradually grew more cheerful as I stopped worrying about her. So I stopped worrying about her. Soon enough, we're able to see something like steam rising from our destination. I can smell the scent of sulfur mixed in the air. Haruka, it kinda stinks. Remember, Haruka doesn't like the smell of cigarettes. Yes, I have smelled this in my life. Gone to places in Wyoming and so on where there's just a lot of sulfur smell. Never been into Yellowstone though. But I've smelled a lot of sulfur. Makoto farting in front of a girl, you're the worst. That's the smell of the hot springs, right? I pinch my nose and reproach Yuka. Despite the stench, I keep moving forward. The one who first found this place was... By the way, my papa also owns a hot spring. Izumi-san is talking about the hot spring. Okuhiko interrupts to brag. We ignore him as we advance toward the hot spring through the forest. Okay, so apparently the exposition is not important. The hot spring isn't very far. We arrived there in under 5 minutes. It's an isolated natural hot spring surrounded by rocks lying in the middle of the forest. In this chilly night, we enveloped steam coming from the milky white hot water seems very... The enveloping steam coming from the milky white hot water seems very promising. Wow, it kind of looks like a bath where you'd find a bathhouse prostitute. Yes, I have gotten out of a hot spring before when I was a kid, and I basically puked while naked. So if you don't understand this, if you're in a hot spring, well, you get weak over time, and eventually your body decides that it doesn't have enough juice to digest and you can puke. I've also had this problem where I have a fever. This again, when I was a child, I would have a fever. And then I would get in the shower while having a fever. Well, when you have a fever, you have chills. So the shower water never seems like it's quite hot enough, right? Because you always feel cold. So I would crank up the water too hot. And then I would also stay in the shower way too long. That was another problem unrelated to the fever. And when I got out of the shower, I would almost puke. Anyway. Okay. You don't know what those are, Haruka? Let's see. And then someone probably cuts her off, right? Don't tell what's best left unknown. Hey. Ignoring the sulking Yuka, I turn my attention to Izumi-san, who's beginning to explain about the hot springs. Seems no one knows who's the manager and owner of these natural hot springs. A wall has been built around the hot spring, but it's rotted away to the point where it's riddled with gaps. You really could peek here as much as you liked. Is this hot spring even safe to use? Huh? Who knows? Oh, you don't know? No, but it's alright. I at least know it's not poisonous to the body. Wait, you'll get fungus? I get a little worried when I start to consider how much of a dit Suzumi-san can be. Well, we probably won't die, but you might get fungus. Well then, I'll go first. Whoa. Suddenly Yuka takes off her clothes. I knew she was going to do it, but it's still shocking. Something wrong? No, it's nothing. I see, well, whatever. Yuka delicately dips her foot in the hot spring like most girls would. Before she suddenly dives into the hot spring with a splash. The water temperature is really good. You're such a kid. Soon enough, everyone takes off their clothes one by one, enters the hot spring. Well then, should I enter as well? Another triple ellipses. Okay, so there seems to be another missing option. Where you could theoretically not enter the hot spring. Huh. I wonder how you get this one. Yeah, there's a missing choice. Okay, that's something to look into. It's been 10 minutes since I've entered. I feel more and more like I'm boiling up. And I'm completely relaxed. Well then, I'll... Okay. I guess I'll save this option. Sit down on the edge of a rock. Okay, a gentle night's breeze feels pleasant and cool against my burning hot skin. Whew. Only the top half of my body is exposed to the cold wind, as my lower half is still submerged in the hot water. This is the true charm of open-air hot springs. But this seriously feels good. I wonder how many years it's been since going in a bath has made me feel so good. Now that I think about it, we've done a lot of different things at this camp, but it's all felt so peaceful. At that time, I hear Okuhiko's voice, being not peaceful. He's apparently talking to someone. I quickly turn my head in the direction of his voice. There he is. Soon I also see Haruka. The two of them have their shoulders submerged in the hot water. Okuhiko is relentlessly trying to talk to Haruka. Well, as always, Haruka is staying silent, but she looks gloomy. I don't know why, but that's the feeling I get. Alright, if that's the case, then I've got an excellent plan to help her out. Time to put my ingenious plot into action. I roll up a towel that's full of air, then sink it into the hot bath until it's at the level of my lower back. And now I'm ready. Weapon in hand, I approach them. The two of them watch me. Okiko glares at me, clearly disgusted by my behavior. Ugh. I try to ignore him, but I can't help but groan. With that, I squeeze the air out of the submerged towel, forming bubbles that rise just above the back of my waist, making it look like the air came from a certain other place. Okay. Paralyzed, Okuhiko's eyes widen to the size of plates. His mouth opens wider than I ever thought was possible. Okuhiko's mouth is huge. Yeah, it's so big that I think you could stuff an entire wash basin in there. In response to Haruka's statement, I compare my wash basin with Okuhiko's face and nod. It's just a fart, dude. While plucking his nose, Okuhiko screams and runs away. Haruka blinks with surprise while watching Okuhiko. She probably didn't get it. Well, that was an extremely predictable joke, but... Hey, what's wrong with Okuhiko? Who knows? So there's another triple ellipse, but that's probably not a missing choice. It's probably just a dialogue choice, but, okay. Our silence continues for a short while. Say, Haruka. Unable to bear the silence any longer, I try to strike up a conversation, but she doesn't respond. Haruka? Okay. Hey, Haruka, when I wasn't paying attention, her face turned bright red. If she's gotten this bad, then she shouldn't have stayed in for so long. Right now, my main priority is to get Haruka out of the water. I pulled up to sinking Haruka and hold her in my arms. I feel lightheaded and dizzy from the sensation of her soft skin. Well, whatever. I'll read it to myself. Oh, Yuka, good timing. How about Haruka just... I walk up to that point and swallow my words. Her face is flesh red like a lobster. Her eyes are all unfocused. Her gait is all staggered with no sense of balance, and she has... sake in her hand? You mean snake. Okay. I ignore the plastered Yuka and immediately return all my focus to the panting Haruka's face. After our night out, we return to the lodge a little past 11. Okay, let's see what the other choices do. Sing. Because I'm in such a good mood, I start singing. But this seriously... I would not sing in public. Anyway, I wonder how many years it's been since going in a bath has made me feel so good. As I think about it, we've done a lot of different things in this camp, but it's all felt so peaceful. I start to drift off to sleep, lulled by the thoughts just then. Hey, you're so noisy. Huh? I'm brought back to reality. Whose voice was that? You tone deaf? No doubt about it, it's Yuka. But her voice is extremely slurred. Okay. Okay. Okay, so more triple ellipses. That's odd. Wait, so it's just like... she just chokes you out? What? And that's it? Okay, so that just skips. Okay, parts of it. Okay. So she just chokes you out? Well, that's real casual. Just kind of casually just kind of chokes you out. But it seriously feels good, okay. Okay, so that's the same thing. Okay. So I'll just do this, go through this one. Okay. So 36, the hot spring complex. I might have been able to see all of it. It's similar to the pool. There isn't really any reason to go there unless that the missing decision has something. It's basically just a bunch of junk dialogue. Okay. Oh, now it's a big choice. Okay. But this time you don't know this because you didn't go with Kurumi to Viewpoint Park. Yeah, I believe this is kind of nonsense. Okay. So... Okay. I presume you just kind of hear her out through the whole thing is the best way to do this. Okay. Okay. So you can just hear her out through the whole thing. I'm gonna overwrite this save. Okay. 38. So linchpin number 5. Okay, saved it in save slot 06 605 1754. And that's who to go with man, this is dating the video because these are basically just like the time and date at which the recording's happening, essentially. Geez, why so incriminating? It's kind of funny seeing some of these, like 0008. Like, what? Okay. Who to go with on the 4th? So, you have To the Cherry Blossoms with Yuka. Now, I know that there's a way to trigger that even if you don't go with Yuka. So it's like there's no reason you need to pick it specifically. Princess Peach is Kurumi. She gets mad at you if you don't choose it. But maybe she won't if we haven't done, like, Kurumi-specific things. Okay. I think I'm doing, like... Okay, I'm going to write down... I'm choosing Haruka because I decided to do all the Haruka things this time. Just for consistency. Okay, well then, I'll get ready, wait for me. I returned to my room after telling her this. When I finished changing in my room, I hurried back to the living room. For some reason, Haruka isn't there. Just then I hear an argument going on outside the front door. One of them is Saki, the other is Haruka. Okay. I have a very bad feeling about this, so I quickly opened the front door. This might be triggered by something. As her back is turned to me, I can't see Haruka's face, but Saki has a strange frown on it. I rush over to them. The incident from 2 days ago rushes around in my head. What are you two talking about? When she hears my voice, Saki turns her back away as if intending to run away. Saki! Without turning around, she starts to run towards her summer house. Feeling it's not worth the chase, I turn around to Haruka. What I see leaves me dumbfounded. Haruka is smiling widely. Haruka, what happened? You're late, Makoto. Come on, let's go. When I look towards her smiling face, Haruka lightly walks out onto the forest road. Hurry! Yeah, I'm coming. As I follow Haruka, I fall into deep thought. So something did happen between them. But she doesn't want to bring it up. That means Haruka's... I'm supposed to be able to guess at that point? When we arrive at the pier, I try to set up the fishing gear just like yesterday. However, I only do so half-heartedly since my mind's pressed on other matters such as what happened this morning. Just what happened between Haruka and Saki anyway. Haruka, who doesn't know about my speculating, is having a lot of fun. While I'm spacing out, she quickly starts setting up her own fishing gear. I know very well that she's excited. It seems that yesterday's session got her completely hooked on fishing. She grips her fishing rod, and after finishing setting it up, she casts it out into the ocean just like me. She's a fast learner, as expected from an honor student like her. I force myself to think about trivial things like that. No typo. Even so, I can't stop myself from thinking about Haruka and Saki. Alright, let's go. Say, Haruka. What? I want you to tell me what really happened between you and Saki, but before I can say this, I hear a tremendous noise breaking out from the bottom of the earth. Right, and we know that this happens now. Izumi gets all of her tableware broken. The pier shakes intensely. It's an earthquake. Haruka gulps in astonishment and staggers. I've got to hold on to her. At the same moment I think that, the ground sways intensely. Haruka and I... Okay. You stop, drop, and roll. You do bald eagle mating rituals. We try to get caught between the pier's stairs to stop ourselves. The tremors also slowly fade. Once I calm down, I help Haruka sit up and look at her. I've been left speechless. Haruka's black pupils have completely... Okay. Silly eye dialogue. This is awkward. That was surprising. Huh? Weren't you surprised? Yeah, I didn't see that coming. Right. So you didn't remember that one. Haruka silently nods, and we let go of each other's hands as she stands up. Or are they trying to kind of squelch that whole plot line when you go this way? Error. We say it at the same time. We look away from each other and fall silent. A flock of seagulls come flying over the ocean and poop on us. No. And let out a loud cry all at once. I nervously open my mouth. What were you going to say? No, it's nothing at all. That's not true, is it? Then you go first. No, you go. I'm fine. I'm fine, you say. In the time that exchange happened, the morning passed by. Is there a way to make different decisions so that actually triggers more dialogue? You would think. As usual, we went to Luna Beach for lunch, then returned to the pier. In that time, the awkwardness between us has faded away as Haruka regained her cheerfulness. As usual, Haruka is enthusiastically fishing, and as usual, she releases all the fish she catches. As for me, my fishing rod isn't even twitching as usual. To use the phrase one more time. This has actually happened to me, but it was like my father. We were fishing somewhere, I'll say somewhere in Utah. There's, oh great, now I have to look it up. Because I could have just given wrong information. Yeah, it's in Utah. And I caught 9 fish in a row and he caught 0 when we were both fishing in the same spot. You're not doing too well. You have no talent for this, do you? She's saying that even though she started fishing yesterday. But the truth is that I haven't caught a single fish, while Haruka seems to be learning so many skills that she's developing her own technique. She really is an unbelievably fast learner. I'm jealous. Okay. She seems she's caught another fish. I look at it while gripping my fishing rod. The fish violently scatters water around. A drop of water hits Haruka in the face. Haruka grimaces from the cold. Seeing that takes me aback, and it feels like my heart's been pierced. Haruka smiles, accompanying the blush of her face is truly human. Okay. I would never have expected to see that from the Haruka of 3 days ago. Before long, Haruka releases a fish and faces me. Makoto, do you think fish also have hearts? Yes, they have to have a circulatory system, otherwise they cannot deliver oxygen to their brain. I'll save this. Well, I think I wouldn't know first, but that's definitely not the right answer. I wouldn't know I'm not a fish. That's true. Well, that doesn't necessarily mean that they don't. Have you ever read The Little Mermaid? Well, a little. I don't really know what happens in The Little Mermaid. Obviously, there's a Disney movie, but the Disney movie probably, like, as Disney movies do, sugarcoats it. Because those fairy tales typically originally had bad endings, and then the Disney movie makes them good endings. But let's see what the other option says. I do. Yeah, I definitely do. I see. Have you ever read The Little Mermaid? Okay, so I wouldn't know is more verbose. I wouldn't know, I'm not a fish. That's true. Okay. Well, a little. I never read it, but it's that story by Anderson, right? For the time being, I'll pretend I know it. Okay, does Izumi also ask you if you've read something? Yeah, I forgot what it was, though. Okay. You know, there was this mermaid princess who fell in love with a human prince, right? Yeah, that's right. She struck a deal with a sea witch to become human in exchange for her most important possession. What about it? That part doesn't matter. Oh, I see. I'm heartbroken, even though I did my best to remember all of that. In the end, she dissolves into foam in the ocean. She sacrificed herself to save the prince's life, but because she wasn't human, because she had no soul, she couldn't go to heaven. She just became foam. That's all. No, but she saved the prince she loved. The prince never realized that the mermaid princess loved him, or that she saved his life. I understand, I really do understand. A fish's heart, the mermaid princess's feelings. They don't mean anything. That's not what Haruka wants to say. But because I understand that she's alluding to, I can't seem to find the right words to respond. Because she doesn't go to heaven. She just is. Yeah, that's. Huh. That has some relation to the Shiki no Mori shrine and its functionality, I would think. I'm a little thirsty. Her voice is cracked. I force myself to reply in a cheerful tone. Okay, then leave it to me. Wait here, will you? I stand up, head towards the market. It's as if I'm trying to avoid looking at Haruka. No, I might not want to look at her. I only want to look at the cheerful Haruka. I want her to look away from the problem she thinks she has from being a clone. Before long, I return to the pier, and I'm left standing stock still and dumbfounded. Haruka has disappeared. I come to my senses, look at the water from the tip of the bank. I desperately stare. Wait, what am I thinking? Of course Haruka didn't turn into foam in the water. I enter the shopping district to look for Haruka. A fisherman told me it seems that she was headed towards the shopping district. However, I can't find Haruka even in this narrow street. Could it be that she's running away from me? Why would she go that far? My mind is thrown into intense disorder. Let me check the... Okay, the background music is called Irritation. Okay. While searching for Haruka, I ended up here before I even knew it. As I look around aimlessly and restlessly, Kurumi calls out to me. Hey, Oni-chan, weren't you with Haruka-san? Well, not really. It would be troublesome to explain the situation to Kurumi. So that's why I'm lying to her. Oh, so Kurumi was wrong. Then she should have called out to her. Huh? By should have called out to her, does that mean you didn't call out to her? What do you mean? What are you saying? Isn't it obvious Kurumi should have called out to Haruka-san? Kurumi, you met up with Haruka? Not really, Kurumi only saw her. Why didn't you say that earlier? Where did she go? What's this? You two were together? It doesn't matter where she is. She went that way, towards Moon Beach. Without another word, I start running. Kurumi's half-angry voice reaches my ears. Hey, why is it just Haruka-san this, Haruka-san that? Stupid Oni-chan. I have far more important problems right now. Now's not the time to hang out with this spoiled kid. I jump down to Moon Beach. I instantly spot Haruka. When I look around, I can see the entire white sandy beach that stretches out as far as the eye can see. There is nothing blocking my field of vision save for a lone conspicuous figure near a rock wall. Although the sand is tripping me up, I run to the rock wall as fast as I can. Just then, Saki shows up on the opposite side of the beach. It's a duel. She's closer to Haruka than I am. Saki heads straight towards Haruka, who steels herself and goes out to meet Saki once she notices her. They intensely begin to quarrel about something, just like they did back then, just before the high waves struck the pier. I feel my heart beating hard. I take a large roundabout path so they don't notice me and hide myself on the opposite side of the shade of the rock. I can hear them arguing. Okay, here we go. Stop accusing me. I don't want it anymore. You're lying. You took it away. Took it away. Took what? Ow, let me go. No, I won't. Do you intend to threaten me forever? Then just give it back to me. I didn't want to see it again. Please stop lying. I'm not lying. You're lying. You're lying. Give it back. Give me back that bell. Boom! Here we go. Bell? Did she just say bell? The sting that Saki stole from Haruka was a bell? There's more bells? And in that instant, the scene flies by my mind. That hopeless dream I had in the morning of the 1st. It couldn't be that bell they're talking about. Is that bell? No, that's impossible. That's impossible. I shake my head countless times to shake off that delusion. Anyway, right now, I've got to do something about this situation. I think that I peek out from the shade of the rock wall and observe those two. Their quarrel has now gotten to a physical level, for the two are grappling. Also, Saki and Haruka both want the bell or do not want to see the bell again. Or they're both in the time loop. They're all in time loops. Saki manages to shake Haruka's hand off her and slowly draws back. Haruka steadily closes the distance between her and Saki as she throws a furious glare at her. Saki slowly shakes her head. Haruka grabs Saki's hand again, but this time Saki thrusts Haruka away with all her strength. Haruka falls flat on her back.
A cloud of sand blows up and rolls into a small ball like a shrimp. Saki shakes her head once again, trembling slightly, and immediately breaks off into a run. I run out from behind the rock wall and immediately rush over to Haruka's side. It seems she's lost consciousness. I lift Haruka up in my arms and shake her body. Haruka, Haruka, hang in there. While I shake her, my mind flashes back to the night of the first. It was definitely here, on Moo Beach. Back then I picked up the bell. I threw it into the ocean because it scared me for no reason. That bell is connected to Haruka and Saki somehow. Then what is the meaning of the dream I had? Haruka, suddenly Haruka's eyes open and move around restlessly. Makoto? I silently nod. Haruka raises half her body up and blankly stares into my eyes as I do the same to her. Okay. Offer my hand. Haruka calmly takes my hand into her own. I grasp Haruka's hand tightly, as if to wrap her up in kindness. I was looking for you. At that moment, Haruka's eyes suddenly overflow with tears. Haruka firmly squeezes back. Okay. I stroke her soft cheeks with my other hand. During this, Haruka lets out small sobs. Her tears fall into the back of her hand one by one. Such warm tears. Haruka. Haruka and I head towards Luna Beach. Okay, let's see what happens if I choose. Continue to look at her. Okay. As if I don't want to lose sight of them again, as if I don't want her to forget about me. I was looking for you. Okay. Okay, it doesn't really matter what you choose, but I'm going to go with hand grab. Okay, so the hand or look does not matter. I gotta mess around with notes here.